An issue that I talked quite a bit about on Kyle and Corin with you guys is tipping. And, look, I pride myself on being a good tipper. And I think that when you have people who are working full time, they make less than minimum wage. Honestly, you should help them out if you can, even if the service isn't necessarily all that great, because they need help. It's a broken system, broken economy. If you have the means to be able to help somebody get by, help them out, right? So, I mean, that's always been my position on tipping. But I have to say, this article right here really, really got my blood boiling. So this is in the New York Post. They say self-checkout machines now ask customers to tip. Self-checkout machines. So they say self-checkout machines want you to tip them for all they do. Businesses are starting to introduce new options for tipping at self-checkout machines, putting even more pressure on customers and amid rising inflation costs. Despite having zero interaction with employees during transactions, self-checkout machines at places such as coffee shops, bakeries, airports, and sports stadiums are giving customers the option to leave the typical 20% tip, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal. Business owners believe that the prompt for a tip can boost staff pay and increase gratuities, but customers are questioning where and to whom the extra cash is going, considering self-checkout is done, well, by yourself. Quote, they're cutting labor costs by doing self-checkout, so what's the point of asking for a tip? And where is it going? Ashita Jamar, a senior at American University in Washington, D.C., who has noticed more self-tip queues, told the Wall Street Journal. But tipping researchers claim this is a way for companies to put the responsibility of paying employees on the customer rather than increasing employee salaries themselves. William Michael Lynn, a professor of consumer behavior and tip culture I love how that's a thing, at Cornell University's Nolan School of Hotel Administration, told the outlet that businesses are taking advantage of an opportunity. The self-checkout gratuity option is an example of tip creep, a phenomenon that sounds like a good band, tip creep, a phenomenon that prompts customers to leave higher tips in transactional situations. Self-tipping is viewed by many customers as a way to guilt trip the person into tipping on something when they typically wouldn't. Quote, just the prompt in general is a bit of emotional blackmail. Garrett Bamiller, 26, who works in public relations in Manhattan, told the Wall Street Journal after he was asked to add a 10 to 20% tip on his $6 water bottle at an airport self-checkout machine. Many companies told the Journal that these tipping prompts are completely optional, and the extra gratuity is split between all employees. I don't buy that. However, experts say that tips at a self-checkout machine might never even get to an actual employee, since protections to tipped workers and Federal Fair Labor Standards Act don't extend to machines, according to the Wall Street Journal. Lehigh University Associate Professor Halona Oches said self-checkout tipping exploits the high adherence to tipping norms as a way to generate more revenue for the company. The influx of tipping options has sparked lots of debate with customers online, especially for places like Starbucks. Okay, look, man, it is time for tipping culture to die in America. I've had this take for a long time. Like I said, I'm a good tipper. I'm proud that I'm a good tipper. Somebody's giving me actual service. You're going to get rewarded for it. But the fact of the matter is this. These people shouldn't have to rely on tips. There should be no exception to the minimum wage. If you're in a tipped industry, there's an exception to the minimum wage. You're making less than minimum wage. No. Put the onus on the business. Have no exception to the minimum wage. Pay your goddamn workers more, man. Pay your workers more. Because it is true. Tip creep is the best description for it. It went from only tip in these, very limited specific industries. Then it broadened out to some new industries. Then it became like most industries. And now self-checkout machines are asking for tips. And there's a good chance that this money's not even going to the workers at the store. It's going to pad the bottom line, the profits for the company. No. It's got to die. It's got to die. We need new federal rules and regulations. First of all, any tip that goes to a machine, it should be mandated to go to the employees, which it's not under the Fair Labor Standards Act. But beyond that, stop the tipping culture. Build it into the bill. Pay the employees what they're worth. Because, guys, at a time of historic inflation, we've talked about this time and time again, you have record corporate profits. How can that be? They were taking advantage of the inflation hysteria and just jacking up prices across the board so they can get away with it. But corporate profits kept going up and up and up and up and up. And at the same time, they're shaking you down in terms of tipping, but the money's not even going to the people you want it to go to. It's going to them. No, end this tipping culture madness. Workers should just get paid a decent, good wage up front. There should be rules and regulations around that. There should be unions to support that and enforce that and collectively bargain. This stuff is crazy. Now, by the way, it is true. Now, more and more I see when I go into a store, I buy something, they'll turn the thing around and it'll ask for a tip. And it's like, well, hold on now. Are we at the point now where it's literally self-checkout machines too? And now you know the money's not going to a place where at least you'd be okay with it going to? It's just, they've now, because of corporate greed, they've taken advantage of people's good nature, and there might be a reverberating effect where even people who should be tipped under this current economy are not going to get tipped. It's really disgusting. It's really grotesque. It's really unfair. You have to change it all. You have to rewrite everything from the top down. No exception to the minimum wage law. Get rid of tipping culture. This isn't how it works in a lot of other countries. There's just, you don't have to rely on the generosity of strangers, right? Absolutely ridiculous. And look, I will say this, given the current state of affairs, I will always advocate to tip workers well, right? In businesses where there should be tips, tip them well. But at the same time, never, ever, ever leave a tip on a self-checkout machine. That is totally psycho stuff, man. It really appears to me like late stage capitalism. This is like, society rotting right in front of our eyes. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.